Hello everyone, welcome to Cope UiPath. It's me Rakesh Gupta, and today we are going to talk about for and for each loop in UiPath. Okay, so few people who are not from the programming background, they get confused between for loop and for each loop. And in some programming language we call for each loop as also enhanced for loop. Okay, so one by one we will see the difference between both. So first let's talk about the for loop so that you can compare the difference between for loop and for each loop. Okay, so if you will go into activity panel and if you will type for, so you will not get any for loop here. Okay, so if you want to work on the for loop, then we have to write the code for that. So for that let me use invoke code activity. So I'm taking the invoke code and I'm going to rename it as for loop. It's always a best practice to rename the sequence. Okay, now I will click on the edit code and now let me write the code for loop. I will explain you this code, just give me a moment. Now console.writeLine to print it. Next. Okay, so here what I have done, I have created an integer I and it will range between 2 to 10 and I am doing the increment from 2. So first in the console.writeLine it will write 2, then it will do the increment by 2, so it will write 4 and like this till 10. So let me click on the OK button and let me connect it and I will run it. So if you will go to output panel, okay, it is not printed because first thing is that I need to write it, convert it into the string, because in the console.writeLine we can only print the string value, right? So let me run it again. So now if I will go to output panel, so you can see first it has printed 2, then 4 because we are doing an increment of 2 by a step 2, right? Then 6, then 8 and 10 like this. I can do the increment of 3 also. Let me show you. Now I am doing the increment of 3. So first it will print 2, then 5, then 8 and 11 it will not print because it's out of range. So if I will go to output panel, so it has printed 2, 5 and 8. So the things that we need to take care here, that I is a integer, okay, and we are doing increment of 2 or 3 or anything. If I will not write anything, so it will do the increment of 1. Let me show you this one also. So as I have not done any increment, so it will print from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So here we need to understand that here it's up to us or up to our business requirement. If we require to do the increment, then we can increase it by using the step. But if you will talk about the for each loop, let me take for each loop. Let me take a sequence first. And if I will take for each loop, not for each loop, for each activity. So here you can see that it will only work on the collection of object. Collection of object means what? Let's say if I'm saying that how many months in a year, So there are 12 months, January, February, like that. Okay, so it's a collection of month. Or if I will say how many days in a month, so there are total 30 or 31 days. So it's a collection of dates. So it means it will work on either array or list, or if you will talk in the terms of UiPath, so enumerable. Okay, so either you can take it as a collection or enumerable. So for that, if you want to use the for each loop, so it will only work on the array and list. So let me create an array of month. So I'm just writing here month, and obviously the type will be array of string because I am working on the month. And if I will create it here, let me write it here. As of now, let's take only 4 months. Okay, so I have taken a array of month. So I need to type here this value. It means it will work on the collection. So here you can see array of month is a collection of months. Okay, or you can say it's a enumerable. Okay, and now here I need to define, it's very important one. I need to define the argument. So here the argument is a string because array of month is a collection, right? But for each month, if I will type month here, we can rename it. Array of month is a collection of object or array of month, but particular month, if I will talk about this particular month, Jan, Feb, so this is a string. The entire thing is a array of a string, but this particular Jan, Feb, this is a string, right? So that's why in the type argument I have defined it as a string. And now if I will take a print activity, write line activity, and I will type here month. So what it will do, it will print each month one by one. Means first it will take the January, February, March, April, like this. Okay, so now let me add this, connect this one, and let me run this. So you can see here it's Jan, Feb, March, April. So here there is no option to do the increment like here in the for loop we do the increment of 2, 3, like that. So here it will print or it will perform operation of each object of that array one by one. Okay, so in the same way, let me give you another example for integer value. So now what I am going to do, I am going to create another array of integer, and obviously the type will be array of integer, and here I am going to define 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Okay, and now let me take a for each activity, and here are int, and you can rename it anything. It's always good to give it any meaningful name. So for each val means value. Now I am going to do write line, and don't forget to change the type argument. Okay, so here it's an integer, so I will take the integer. So in the same way, if you are working on something else, so you can change the type argument from here. And now I will write val dot to a string because it's a integer value, to a string. And now if I will connect to this one, so it will print all the value in that array, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. If you will see, I have defined the array till 5. Now these are the theoretical example. Now let me give you a practical example so that you can get to know how to use it in your project. So now what I am going to do, I have a folder here in which I have two files. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to open each file in this particular folder. So let me just copy the path of this folder. So you got the requirement. We have a folder where we have some files. So we have to, here I'm just opening and closing, but in the practical scenario it could be like you have to open each file and you have to perform some operation on that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a assign activity, and here I'm going to write directory dot get files. So basically I need files from that particular folder, right? And now here I will define the path. So from this path, this folder, I have to get the files. And if you'll mouse over here, so you can see that it's giving me an output of array of a string, right? As a string and then bracket. So it means it's giving an output of array of a string, right? So in the right hand side, I will press Ctrl K and I will write files. Okay. And if you will go to variable, so here its variable type is a string, but I need to change it to array of string. So array of string, right? So now till now what we have done, we have get all the files of that particular folder. Now I need to iterate one by one through that file and I need to open it. So for each file in files, now I need to open that file. So for that I will take a start process activity. Here I am just opening and closing this, but in the real life scenario, obviously we will perform some operation on that. And here for each I need to change the argument. Okay, always remember this, to change the argument type. Okay, now I have opened the file, so let me open it manually because I need to close it also. So for that I will require the selector. So now I will take a close application activity and I will indicate on this. So as you can see here, the name is 1.txt, but for the next file it will be 2.txt, or it will keep changing, right? So I need to modify the selector as well. So instead of 1 I can type it here what symbol, because I know that I have only two files and it's 1 and 2, and what represent a single character, right? And now let me just give it some delay so that you can see it how it's actually happening. So I'm going to give a delay of 3 seconds between these two. So now we have designed the process, so let's just review it. So here I'm getting the files from that particular folder, then I'm taking a for each activity, and within that for each activity I'm taking each file one by one, because if you will remember this example, so for each loop will iterate through each item one by one, right? So in the same way here for files, it will iterate through each file one by one. So it will take the first file, then I'm opening that file and giving a delay of 3 seconds and then closing that file. That's all. So let me close it manually and then we will run this process. So you will see it will open each file one by one and it will close it after 3 seconds. So done. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you have understand the difference between for and for each loop, and now you can use it in your programming, UiPath programming. And if you have any doubt or query, so you can drop in the comment section. And if you have liked this video, then please press the like button.